My fiancé James and my own brother Lucas had hated me for a decade. They were convinced I'd bullied Lily, the first love they both adored. On our live-streamed engagement party, they exposed my crimes to the world. "She's nothing but a school bully," James declared to millions of viewers. In the viral video, Lily smiled through tears. "I've already forgiven her. The past is in the past." Overnight, she became an internet darling while I became public enemy #1. When an obsessed fan threw sulfuric acid at me, I dragged Lily down with me in that burning hell. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in my senior year classroom. There stood Lily, decades younger, deliberately drenching her hair under the faucet. "Figured out how you'll apologize to me yet, princess?" she taunted. Rage exploded through my veins. I grabbed her by the hair and dragged her into the restroom stall, shoving her face into the filthy toilet bowl. "Let me show you what real bullying looks like," I hissed as she gagged on foul water. "Since your mouth's so dirty, clean it properly before snitching this time." The last memory from my previous life still burned, sulfuric acid eating through my eyes. My final act being stabbing Lily with a cake knife before everything went dark. Now watching this younger version thrash beneath me, I didn't care whether this was time travel or deathbed hallucination. Revenge tasted sweeter than any fantasy. In that former life, I died on what should have been my brightest day, accepting my third Best Actress award while wearing a $200,000 gown, standing beside childhood sweetheart James at our globally televised engagement gala. Then he dropped the bomb. I refused to marry this vicious bully who tormented Lily all through high school. As I stood paralyzed, Lily emerged from the crowd with Oscar-worthy tears. "Remember me, Lucy?" she whispered into the cameras. "The girl you tortured for 10 years? Now." Feeling Lily's struggles weaken under my grip, I yanked her head back. "Oh, I remember," I growled. "Let's make this encore performance unforgettable." The porcelain cracked as I slammed her face down again, decades of fury fueling each movement. This time, I'd write the script myself. You probably never imagined that one day I'd stand as your equal. But it's fine, I don't blame you anymore. Looking back, the hardest storms have already passed. The live stream went viral instantly. Before I could react, hordes of reporters arranged by Lucas and James swarmed around me. "Miss Wilson, is it true you still bully newcomers on set? Were those recent gynecologist visits due to complications from reckless behavior?" An extremist fan lunged from the crowd, hurling acid at my face. "Die, you bitch!" Liquid fire seared my skin. My vision blurred permanently. Heaven to hell in seconds. Regaining composure, I released my grip. Lily lay gasping on the floor, her angelic face smeared with grime. I laughed. Cry. Scream. Tell the world I bullied you with that face, go ahead. My voice sharpened. Memories of dissolving flesh made me stomp harder on her cheekbone before walking away. Sophia waited by the gymnasium. "PE started ages ago. What were you doing upstairs?" "Just bullying the new girl." I shrugged. She whirled around. "What? You know what they say, when everyone thinks you're a bully, own it." Did Mark Twain say that? Doesn't matter. We reached the field where James intercepted us. Though not in my class, everyone knew him as my childhood sweetheart. His gaze drifted behind me. "You're late, Lucy." Heard about the transfer student? In our past life, he'd always forced me to apologize whenever Lily fabricated stories, playing mediator while cementing my guilt. Without warning, I slapped him. Sophia gaped as James merely tilted his head, nuzzling my cheek. Bad day, sweetheart? Only later had I discovered his truth, abandoned at an amusement park. Raised in a group home where a girl shared her candy in bed. His light was Lily. He'd recognized her instantly, believing every lie while smiling at me across dinner tables. The bastard son of the Carters had played his role perfectly. Because he needed to secure his position in the Wilson family through marriage with me. Thinking this, I said coldly, "Let's break up." His pupils constricted sharply. "Why? Give me a reason." "Lucy." I pulled out a tissue, deliberately wiping the cheek he'd touched. "I don't want to date the son of a mistress. You disgust me." "Is that reason enough?" After leaving, Sophia cautiously asked if I'd been possessed. Her question didn't surprise me. Back in high school, I'd been so openly infatuated with James, waiting for him after school every day, burning my hands baking cookies just to deliver them to him with a smile. The whole world had known about my crush. But things were different now. The Lucy who'd entered senior year was dead. Standing here now was the resurrected, steel-spined Lucy. Lily disappeared for the whole day. I knew she prized her delicate beauty above all. She wouldn't make her move until perfectly prepared. I waited patiently. Saturday arrived, my 18th birthday. My parents had promised a grand gala to celebrate my coming of age, though business matters delayed their arrival. Crystal chandeliers glittered as I descended the spiral staircase in couture. From across the room, my brother Lucas called sternly in his tailored suit. "Lucy, come here." I approached, pretending not to notice James's intense gaze or Lily's tearful expression behind him. "What is it, big brother? Did you get me a present?" Lucas studied me with frosty detachment. "Bullying classmates. Insulting friends. Lucy, is this how the Wilson family raised you?" His voice carried across the suddenly silent ballroom. "Whatever do you mean?" I tilted my head at Lily. "Who exactly did I bully? I don't even know her." "Enough lies. You'll face consequences. With our parents absent, I'll discipline you properly." Lucas produced an ancestral discipline ruler from the display cabinet. "Kneel." Whispers erupted among the guests. "Bullying? The Wilson heiress? Spoiled rich girls always hate competition. Thank goodness her brother's fair-minded." Under Lily's triumphant stare, I stood ramrod straight. "What medieval nonsense is this? You're not Lucas, more like some Qing dynasty ghost possessing him." "I only kneel for the dead." I smirked, raking him with contempt. "Here's an idea, go jump off a building. I'll gladly kneel at your funeral and kowtow 3 times. Lucas Wilson's face darkened instantly. Lily stood behind him, saying in a mock-concerned tone, "Lucas, I know you dislike me. But how could you speak to your own brother like this even if you want to bully me?" Her eyes welled up with deliberately childish tears. The picture of innocent vulnerability. James Carter nearby watched this, his gaze flickering with unreadable shadows before he murmured, "Lucy, if you've done wrong, just apologize. There's no need." I widened my eyes in imitation, sighing dramatically, "Sorry. I don't speak bark language. Could you repeat that in human terms?" "Enough," Lucas snapped, his voice icy. "Lucy, have you no decency as a young woman? Who taught you to spew such filth?" Just like before, he'd never believe anything I said. His prejudice would forever nail me to the pillory of shame. I smirked, mirroring his cold expression, with Mom and Dad constantly busy. "Who do you think taught me?" "You did, dear brother. In my past life, I'd feared and loved Lucas in equal measure. Years older, he'd been an imposing figure since childhood. When our parents managed the family business, he'd been my disciplinarian, striking my palms with a ruler for minor mistakes, denying me meals as punishment. When I tried bringing home a stray puppy, he ordered the housekeeper to lock me out. "Filthy creatures aren't welcome here." I'd sat on the doorstep clutching that shivering ball of fur all night. Back then, I'd thought him incapable of tenderness unlike other brothers. Until Lily appeared. I'd seen him hand her steaming cocoa in his car, ruffling her hair while saying, "Eat properly, I'll cover your expenses." Watched him hold an umbrella as she rescued rain-soaked kittens, asking, "Shall we adopt it?" Witnessed him listening patiently to her drunken ramblings. Warmth softening his eyes. Trapped in that loveless illusion. I'd agonized over why my brother and fiancé never chose me. Only in this second life did I understand I'm complete without their validation. The birthday gala ended in shambles. When I stood my ground against Lucas, our parents returned to politely dismiss the guests. Lily tried manipulating Mom with fresh tears, only to be stopped by her polished smile. We'll handle family matters internally. Miss Johnson. After Lily's reluctant exit, Dad finally addressed us. Explain. Before Lucas could speak, I interjected. A transfer student recently accused me of waterboarding her on campus. Turns out she's Lily Johnson, the scholarship student Lucas has been funding for years. Lucas, who was sitting on the couch, suddenly looked up at me with shock in his eyes. Surprised. Lucas? That I found out about your secret affair so early? I pressed my reddened eyelids. Voice choked. I never blamed her about the birthday party. It's just a celebration. I can skip it. What hurts is, why won't you believe me? A bitter laugh escaped me. It's not like Lily's the only one who can play the innocent victim. My tearful performance worked perfectly. Dad slammed his palm on the table. Enough. No more arguments about who bullied whom. This ends now before it becomes a public scandal. Back at school, I openly started bullying Lily. I poured ink into her desk drawer, mocked her accented English recitations, and shredded her physics test papers over her head. Go ahead, I taunted as paper snowflakes drifted through her hair. Tattling's your specialty, isn't it? She trembled while apologizing, tears streaking her face. I'm sorry, Lucy. Please tell me how to fix this. Your very existence makes me unhappy. I tilted my head mockingly. Could you fix that by disappearing? The teachers summoned me after her complaints. With practiced tears, I recounted the birthday humiliation and produced a psychiatric report. The trauma keeps haunting me. I sniffled. Nightmares. Antidepressants. The doctor says I have severe depression now. The faculty ended up comforting me instead. Sophia cornered me during lunch. Why target Lily? What did she even do? I grinned. Can't I be the rich bitch bullying scholarship students? She snorted. You bought me 3 years' worth of stationery when we met. If you're such a bully, why not pick on my trailer trash family? The truth burned my tongue. Everyone understood basic logic except Lucas and James, the boy I loved. My smile turned brittle. The upcoming Centennial Gala reminded me of last life's events. Lily had performed piano under Lucas and James' arrangement, securing that exclusive conservatory spot. I'd practiced classical dance for 12 years. Only for James to approach me, he held me in the campus sunset, murmuring, "Could you skip the performance? Lucy, I don't want others seeing how beautiful you look. I'd get jealous. Just dance for me alone. Okay?" Back then I was such an idiot, actually feeling pleased he cared that much. On the day of the show, I stayed away. In the empty dance studio, I performed our routine over and over for him. As the music faded, thunderous cheers erupted from the auditorium. James suddenly laughed, that quiet, mist-veiled smile he always wore around me cracking with rare intensity. "Are you happy?" I asked, pausing mid-spin. He hesitated. Yes. I thought his joy was for our private moment. Years later I'd learn his elation came from Lily's triumphant piano solo, watching his only light secure her brilliant future. This time I submitted a group classical dance. I funded professional instructors, custom costumes, and lavish props. Lily's simple white dress and piano suddenly looked pitifully plain. Whatever tears she shed to Lucas worked. That night he cornered me in the garden. "Lucy, withdraw from the festival." I smirked. "What are you barking about, Lucas? This isn't a request." His eyes turned arctic. "Proceed at your own risk." I stepped closer. After 15 years of piano lessons, your precious Lily still can't beat me? How pathetic. Days before the event, James found me. Lucy, I messed up before. But blocking me everywhere? Did I misunderstand us? You promised I'd always be your favorite. Rage pierced my chest. I genuinely loved him for years. Refused movie kisses for his comfort. Tolerated Lily's constant slights because she had a hard childhood. My sincerity only earned a decade of their contempt. Grabbing his collar, I slammed him against an oak. His pained gasp barely registered before my palm cracked across his face. I didn't hold back at all. His pale face immediately swelled red. I leaned in close and enunciated every word. I already know you've known Lily since long ago. If you love her so much, why put on this lovesick act for me? Trying to string me along while simping for your precious Lily? You're just like your homewrecker mother, disgusting. As the last word left my lips, a storm brewed in his eyes. He stood speechless. I scoffed, released him, and walked away. That night, I dreamed of my past life, the aftermath of my death. After plunging the cake knife into Lily's chest, I died in agony. She'd been rushed to the hospital. Outside the ER, James gripped Lucas's collar. You promised to protect her. Lucas shoved him off. I agreed to share her. Without my help. A bastard like you could never control the Wilson empire. Don't push your luck. James staggered. It wasn't you who. She's dead. Lucas cut in coldly. The thug who threw acid on her. You hired him. Remember? James stared at the blinking ER lights. When they wheeled Lily out, the doctor said she remained critical. His gaze flickered over her bloodless face. I remember, he said tonelessly. And I don't regret it. I woke gasping, stumbling to vomit in the bathroom. When I finally looked up, the mirror showed eyes bloodshot with hatred. No regrets? I whispered. Don't worry. This lifetime, you'll regret being born. At the school anniversary gala, I found Lily by the artificial lake. Her silver gown and diamond necklace reeked of Lucas's consolation prizes. Lucy, I called. Think the Wilson name will shield you forever? That I'll never strike back after all your bullying? I'll make you pay 1,000-fold. So what if you know about James and me? He loves me. Even your brother only wants me. Pathetic creature, nobody will ever love you. She ranted hysterically. I smiled. How was the toilet water? Her face twisted. I left her there. Sunset blazed across the horizon as I hurried backstage with the dance team. Silk skirts rustling. Halfway through my sprint, I realized I'd forgotten the prepared finale prop. Did I leave it in the dance studio? As I retraced my steps mentally, Sophia asked, Want company? It's light enough. Go help backstage with makeup and prop arrangements. I smiled, hiking up my gilded skirt to climb the deserted university building stairs. My footsteps faltered near the dance studio floor. James stood silhouetted against sunset-stained windows. Only half his face illuminated. His eyes churned like dark whirlpools. Lucy. His voice trembled with impending storm. What are you planning? None of your business. Move. I tried pushing past him. His hand clamped my shoulder like iron. For one suspended moment. Then, weightlessness. My back hit the stairs first. 30 steps became a bone-crushing avalanche. When the world stopped spinning, I lay sprawled by the railings, ankles screaming with what felt like hairline fractures. James descended methodically. Those sorrowful yet detached eyes watched me gasp. Don't hate me, he said tonelessly. You were born with endless safety nets. But Lily, she's poured everything into this single chance. His fingers closed around my injured ankle. I recognized the scene, the hospital corridor from my nightmares. His tender gaze following Lily's gurney while discussing my fate with cold finality. I've never regretted it. as he swung my leg toward the metal rail. I wrenched free with sudden clarity. Pathetic. The pain made breathing agony. But I seized his hair and smashed his forehead against the railing. Crimson bloomed instantly. Try ruining me again. You bastard. The metallic clang still reverberated as I stood, ignoring my throbbing ankle. Let it hurt. Let everything burn. I lowered my gaze to James's pain-glazed eyes and slowly smiled. How touching. My dear James. You'd sacrifice yourself to trap me here. All to secure that precious Lily's future? This must be Lucas's warning. Huh? Did you two already agree to share her? Disgusting. I gathered my skirt hem and wiped the blood from his face until the pale fabric became stained, leaving him crumpled on the ground. I sprinted toward the auditorium as twilight deepened. The distant piano melody grew clearer. Lily was playing Debussy's Clair de Lune. Same as our past life. There she sat at the gleaming white piano, silver gown shimmering under the spotlight like the night's only star. Just like when she climbed over my corpse at my own engagement party. Her beauty burned viciously bright. I charged down the aisle, shoving past guards and the MC, leaping onto the stage. I kicked Lily off the bench and slammed my fist on the keys. Play this. You scheming bitch. I screamed at her stunned face. Send your lackey to sabotage me while you tinkle your daddy's piano? I don't think so. Of course I knew. The special admissions officer Lucas had invited sat in the front row. Last life. He'd offered Lily the sole exception admission after this very performance. With Lucas's connections, she later became some maestro's protege. When I'd needed piano lessons for that autistic prodigy movie role, guess who I found teaching her? That same night, Lucas cornered me at home. Can't you ever stop, Lucy? He'd sneered. Just because you'll never measure up to Lily. You destroyed her handwritten scores? You're poison. Now. As shocked gasps erupted from the audience, someone screamed. Blood. Her skirts covered in blood. The stained chiffon, tangled hair, and swollen ankle proved my truth better than any words. Lily clutched the piano bench, hatred flashing through her teary doe eyes before settling into fragile innocence. Miss Wilson, I don't understand this misunderstanding, but this is my performance. Lucy, have you lost your mind? Lucas roared from the front row, ignoring them both. I sat at the piano and hammered out Beethoven's Symphony No. 5. Last life. I'd practiced until my fingers bled to avoid using a hand double. This time, the crashing chords weren't acting, they were war drums. I dedicated 3 solid months to mastering this piano piece. While not exactly a prodigy, I'd become proficient enough for tonight's occasion. The impassioned notes reverberated through the auditorium's domed ceiling, accompanied by the faint buzz of amplification systems. As the final chords of Beethoven's Fifth faded, I spun on the bench to face Lily. Ruining my birthday party? Poisoning my brother against me? Spreading rumors to my friends? My voice cut through the silence. Those were child's play. But ordering James to push me down the stairs? Trying to break my legs to keep me off the stage, I paused, watching blood drain from Lily's face. Pathetic. If you're so proud of your piano skills, why fear competing? Chaos erupted. Faculty dragged Lily and me off stage while the MC scrambled to introduce the next act, our group's classical dance number. Backstage, Sophia rushed toward me, tears streaking her stage makeup. You're hurt. I should've. Go perform. I interrupted, smoothing her hair. You've earned this. The $10,000 prize money had never been my goal. Watching the dancers take their positions, I finally relaxed, just as searing pain lanced through my ankles. Darkness swallowed me whole. I woke in a hospital room. Lucas stormed in like thunder. You psychotic. You wanted to nurture your precious flower into full bloom. I croaked through dry lips. But guess what? Your little saint didn't even finish her performance. The staircam footage went viral. She'll never get into Juilliard now. A jagged laugh escaped me. Oh. And James is still bleeding out in the humanities building. Better hurry. In his horrified expression, I saw my reflection, wild-eyed. Deranged. Maybe I'd been broken since the car crash that should have killed me. This changes nothing. Lucas hissed. The cameras caught your meltdown. The school's expelling you. Expel me? I grinned savagely. I'm a Wilson. Same as you. There's 100 ways to ruin someone. Ask James. The monitors beeped erratically as I struggled upright. This was never about the dance. I just wanted to watch Lily fall. Every word tasted like ashes. Everything she did to me in our past life? I'm making it real. Every path she took. I'll block. This isn't over. I made a scene at the school anniversary ceremony in front of everyone. Even hitting James and Lily. The previous bullying incidents involving Lily at school got leaked online too, sparking significant public outrage. The feud between a wealthy heiress and a girl from poor backgrounds always makes headlines. Whether 10 years ago or now. The difference was, this time my clear articulation on stage, disheveled appearance, and that intensely furious rendition of Destiny won some supporters. Maybe the rich girl isn't the bully here? Her piano playing doesn't seem malicious. LOL. Are you a paid troll? Since when does music predict character? Seriously though. Look at her swollen ankle and blood-stained clothes. What bully self-destructs like that? Forget the drama. This queen's mental state is ahead of her time by 8 generations. Eventually Sophia and the other girls who danced with me started clapping back at online critics. Lucy isn't what you think. Lily started it. The internet war raged on. During my hospital stay, I never found out what Lucas told our father. When discharged, Dad greeted me with icy detachment, out of control the moment I look away. Since your school won't take you back, study abroad. Stay overseas until this blows over. His attitude didn't surprise me. Between Lucas and me, he'd always choose his son. Even when Lucas orchestrated that engagement party disaster while Dad was alive, he never warned me. Not that it mattered anymore. I smirked. Fine. You wanted performing arts. I'll arrange applications. No. I cut him off. I'm studying finance and business. Both men froze. Dad's gaze sharpened with new appraisal. My overseas admission came through quickly. James remained hospitalized long after my recovery. Rumors said Lily visited, comforting him with "It's not your fault, she's just heartless." Sophia showed up at my house clutching pricey lily of the valley blooms. Those two psychos tried to break your leg. Since when is self-defense heartless? I eyed the flowers. These cost your competition prize money. Didn't I tell you to keep? Everyone chipped in for your send-off. She thrust the bouquet into my arms, then hugged me carefully, avoiding the blossoms. Lucy, I think you knew things I didn't. After Lily transferred, something changed. If this sounds crazy, just forget it. She inhaled shakily. Come back soon. We'll still be friends. The night before departure, Mom and I sat on the breezy balcony. When she hesitated, I clasped her hands. Don't worry, Mom. Her eyes glistened as evening wind carried the scent of Sophia's flowers from the vase inside. In my previous life, my mother died in a car accident. While she was alive, no matter how biased my father was, Lucas never dared to openly target me. Thinking of this, a chill ran down my spine. In my past life, Lucas had become utterly deranged over his obsession with Lily. Could there have been more to my mother's sudden accident? My grip unconsciously tightened on her hand. You need to be careful and protect yourself. After a pause, I added, watch out for Lucas. Lucy, you seem different somehow. My mother stared at me before sighing. I failed you. You used to trust everyone blindly. When I warned you James was unreliable, you'd argue he's nothing like you say. When I tried securing company shares for your birthday, you'd undermine me saying I just want jewelry and dresses. It drove me mad. I wanted you to be sharper, wiser. But if this change came at some terrible cost, her voice broke, I'd rather you stayed naive forever. What mother wouldn't recognize her own child? I'd been the epitome of naive trust, giving Lily countless chances even after her betrayals. It cost me my life at my own engagement party. Not this time, Mom. I pressed my reddened eyelids, smiling bitterly. This world devours the weak. Pity I had to die to learn that. At 18, I boarded an international flight with my luggage. Everything around me felt alien, yet I harbored no fear. Foreknowledge of major events, even without details, gave me power. The most crucial would come in 2 years. Previously, Lucas had flown to San Francisco at 20 to partner with a man named Joe High, whose cutting-edge technology later cemented Lucas's control over Wilson Enterprises. I multiplied my mother's money through stock market investments guided by fragmented memories. Between accelerated degree programs, I funded startups destined to become Fortune 500 giants. Sophia called weekly. After updating me on dance team gossip, she'd gleefully recount how Lily failed a university's entrance interview. The admissions officer had attended our gala. Said Lily's Moonlight Sonata sounded muddy compared to your Destiny Symphony. You should have seen her sobbing in James the Simp's arms. When national exam results declared me top scorer, I was drowning in dual degree finals. My genuine smile surprised me. Congratulations, Lucy. Sophia added softly. I'll wait for you to come back and be friends again. Mother's calls tracked Lucas's movements and my well-being. Her relieved sighs when hearing my progress carried both pride and worry. You're still so young. Don't push too hard. Let me help when needed. I stared at my stock portfolio blooming across the screen. This time, the predator would become the prey. So I gave her Joe High's name and the details I remembered, asking her to look into someone for me. I made her promise to keep it from Lucas at all costs. I arrived in San Francisco a month earlier than Lucas. Outside the university, I was about to ask for directions when I spotted a familiar face across the lawn, a younger version of Joe High. He stood facing a tall, slender girl with short hair and glasses whose expression could freeze fire. That's my research. Who gave you permission to discuss commercial partnerships without my consent? Joe High offered an ingratiating smile. What's yours is mine, right? We developed this together. The concept was mine. I conducted the experiments. You merely assisted with data recording for a while. Her voice held steel. How does that entitle you to handle my work? His expression darkened. Chin Jilan. Don't push it. Graduation's approaching. I am thinking about our future. What good is hoarding your research? Partnering with a reliable company maximizes its potential. She enunciated each word like hammer strikes. That is my work. The girl called Chin Jilan stared impassively. The patent's in my name. You don't even know the core technology. Try developing it without me. Over my dead body. She turned sharply. We're done. From this moment, we have no connection. Joe High watched her retreating figure, his gaze glacially calculating. I froze. Pieces clicking into place. In my previous life, I'd overheard Lily ask Lucas how he controlled someone like Joe High. He'd lounged by the pool with her, smiling lazily, because he needed my help with something. More importantly, his voice had trailed off meaningfully. Yet I'd never heard Chin Jilan's name mentioned before. After tracking her down to a cafe far from campus, I cut to the chase when she sat down. Miss Lucy, I know why you're here. My work isn't for sale. Why? She hesitated. It's incomplete. My coffee cup paused midair. Business types care about market value. I don't. What matters is the final breakthrough. How it could revolutionize technology. The work itself is everything. Her plain face glowed with fervent brilliance as she spoke. This radiant woman should have become a legendary scientist. But in my past life, crushed between two men's ambitions, she'd vanished like dust beneath history's wheels. Miss Lucy, if that's all, I blocked her path. What if I fund your research completely? All I ask is minor assistance once you succeed. The credit remains entirely yours. History will remember Qin Jilan's achievement. Snow swirled when I returned home. Airport billboards flashed Lily's flawlessly made-up face. While I'd built my company abroad to rival Lucas's growing Wilson empire, he'd been busy too. After failing to secure a special admission and bombing the interview, Lily was still maneuvered into film school by him, successfully debuting in the entertainment industry. She really never changes. I sneered sarcastically, sliding into the car. Cutting through traffic dusted with thin snow, the vehicle drove straight to the corporate building. The bidding conference 3 days later marked another critical juncture. Sophia and I camped at the office for 72 hours, refining our proposal to perfection. When the winning bid was announced at the public tender, I rose from my seat and locked eyes with Lucas's stunned gaze nearby. You, Lucy. I curved my lips. Long time no see, brother. He chased me down the corridor after the event, cornering me near the elevators. Disbelief still colored his tone. Lumen Corporation is yours? After Sophia disappeared, you've been hiding her, haven't you? You're so worked up, Lucas. I burst into laughter. Hiding her? You two were strangers. Why this obsession with tracking down a living person? Planning something illegal? I left him fuming, my laughter echoing down the marble hallway. My return to the States had been anything but low-key. After securing the contract, I networked aggressively, cultivating connections with numerous industry heavyweights. Holding exclusive rights to Sophia's patents and having just snatched a major project from Wilson Holdings earned me exaggerated courtesy, a respect I'd never received in my previous life. Even with 3 Best Actress trophies collecting dust, people only respect those who control the means of production. I mused, swirling Cabernet in my crystal glass. Sophia turned, studying me with narrowed eyes. 4 years abroad, yet you've aged a decade in wisdom. Natural progression. I shrugged. At 18 you can afford youthful recklessness. Post-college? My smile turned razor sharp. One must polish their fangs before biting. 2 million. I called out, raising my auction paddle. Lily whirled around from the front row, James following her gaze. Our eyes met, his lingering on the faint scar above my brow. Amusement curled through me as he hastily countered. 2.6 million. I knew this diamond-encrusted bracelet was his planned birthday gift for Lily. Though clawing his way into partial control of Carter Enterprises, he remained far from Lucas's absolute authority over Wilson Holdings. Desperate to compete, he kept bidding until securing the trinket for 6 million. How touching, I remarked, watching him clutch the overpriced jewelry. Lucy, he began hoarsely. Don't. I recoiled dramatically. That tone makes me nauseous. My gaze swept over him contemptuously. Though I'll admit, you outdid your mistress mother. At least you secured the title. I was just wondering how you and my brother usually schedule your time. You take Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and he gets Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays with Sundays together? I deliberately didn't lower my voice. True enough. Business associates started approaching me for gossip right after the charity auction. Putting on my most troubled expression, I sighed. Lucas Wilson and James Carter from the Carter family's illegitimate line both fell for the same rising starlet. Honestly, which wealthy family doesn't have its share of hopeless romantics these days? When it comes to true love, people will tolerate anything. I didn't stop at spreading rumors about their love triangle. I plunged into the entertainment industry with fresh capital. snatching several pivotal roles from Lily Johnson that had launched her career in the previous timeline. Lucas couldn't stand seeing his delicate flower suffer these setbacks and finally made his move against me. Perfect. I'd been waiting for this. How else would he expose his weaknesses? My name suddenly trended alongside my company, #launching founder Lucy Wilson school bullying, #Lucy Wilson fabricates rumors, #Lily Johnson victim. That edited clip from our school anniversary gala resurfaced, the one where I smashed Lily's piano. Carefully cropped to remove the part where I played Beethoven's Fifth immediately afterward. They'd even tracked down our high school classmates. Lucy always bullied Lily, claimed one male classmate in an interview. Righteous indignation oozing through the screen. She tore up Lily's exam papers, poured ink in her desk, turned the whole class against her. But what could a scholarship student do against the Wilson heiress? When things got too heated, the school made Lucy withdraw only for her to study abroad to buff her resume. Now she's back playing CEO. Our stock plummeted for 5 straight days. Partners started calling with polite inquiries. I knew their contracts would dissolve without satisfactory answers. Please bear with me a little longer. I twirled my fountain pen, smiling at the holographic conference room. As fellow businesspeople, you understand we shouldn't act without absolute certainty. Fortunately, Lily proved less patient than I remembered. Seizing the PR crisis, she addressed the scandal during a live stream. I'll never forget when the teacher asked me to read aloud. Coming from a village school where one teacher handled multiple subjects, well, her laugh trembled. That was my first time realizing my English pronunciation was wrong. For the anniversary performance, I'd practiced that piano piece for months. Tears glimmered at her lashes. The live chat exploded. Sweetheart, you did nothing wrong. How dare that privileged brat mock someone who actually worked for it? Wait, village school with no proper English teachers versus years of piano lessons? Doesn't add up. I chuckled at the last comment, though it quickly drowned in the flood of support. The live stream hit 5 million viewers. The next morning, my father summoned me home. Merge launching with Wilson Holdings immediately. He barked. For years abroad and you still act like a child. Apologize publicly and hand over the company. I met his glare calmly. The problem originated with Lucas' girlfriend, not my company. You started this by harassing that girl. He slammed the table. Defy me again, and you're no daughter of mine. My smile sharpened. Biologically speaking, you never were. Mother carried and bore me alone. By afternoon, Wilson and Carter corporations announced their alliance. The two families joined forces to attack my company, snatching several major projects from me. My father publicly declared he's disowning me, claiming he has no such vicious daughter. In the company parking lot, I was nearly splashed with acid by Lily's extremist fans. Lucas secretly conspired with my father to use my high school mental health records and diagnosis certificate to institutionalize me. Across lifetimes, they only know these dirty tricks. Time for my counterattack. Brother. As I kept retreating without resistance, Lily won her first Best Actress award near her birthday. Lucas threw her an extravagant celebration with live streaming. Dressed in white, Lily sweetly thanked fans. During the fan tribute video segment, surveillance footage suddenly played showing Lily in makeup room shoving another actress, then grabbing her hand to slap herself. How dare you take roles from me? Lily sneered. Know who my boyfriend is? Lucas, CEO of Wilson family. When he sees this bruise, you'll beg for forgiveness. Or should I say, plan your career after this bullying video gets you blacklisted? The clip ended with Lily staring at the actress's cleavage with malicious smirk. No! Lily screamed, scrambling to block the screen as chaos erupted. #Lily my boyfriend is Lucas and #Lily birthday scandal trended instantly. Sophia beside me feverishly typed, Lily. Is the whole world bullying you? Becoming top comment. Viral posts mocked, she literally made others hit her. Call her Lily T instead. She stole this role from the original lead whose nudes got leaked. Another viral video showed international students mocking Chinese accents. When some laughed at a girl's pronunciation, I grabbed the ringleader, punching him while snapping, "Laugh at your dad's funeral too?" After flooring him, I tapped his chin with "Shu, that's real Chinese kung fu. Redneck." The uploader was an anonymous exchange student. I was also a girl born in the mountains, almost thrown into the hearth by my grandmother at birth. But unlike Lily, there were no pianos in our village. No kind benefactors providing monthly allowances of tens of thousands. There was only me, someone who took nearly 3 decades to gather the courage to step out into the world, only to be mocked on my first day studying abroad. I simply couldn't stand watching lies being spun, nor let those who helped me be slandered. Netizens in the comments erupted, "Am I seeing this right? Isn't this Lucy? The one Lily accused of bullying her and mocking her English accent?" Finally someone speaks up. Since when do mountain village kids learn piano for decades? The timeline doesn't add up yet so many believed it. Wow. This girl is amazing. Benefactor? Wasn't Lily's patron Lucas, Lucy's own brother? Who's to say he's not framing his sister to steal family assets? Then came the video from my 18th birthday. Surveillance footage of Lily jumping off a rooftop herself to frame another orphanage girl for pushing her. All to secure sponsorship. Evidence of Lucas hiring hitmen, not just the attempted murder of Sophia, but countless shady deals with my father to expand the Wilson empire. I owed most of these revelations to my mother. The final piece was James. He psychologically manipulated his birth mother for 7 years, driving her to suicide in front of his father. Traded her life for admission into the Jiang family. I spent fortunes connecting these dots from past and present lives, systematically leaking everything to trending topics. Thanks to their earlier theatrics, the public was already riveted. Criminal allegations exploded like wildfire, with netizens mass reporting to police before they could bury the scandals. Those who play with fire get burned. Are you satisfied with this ending? When the police took my father and Lucas away, my mother served divorce papers. Lucas screamed, "Mom, am I not your son? Why favor Lucy? I'm your child too. Your father favored you. I favor your sister." She sighed, sipping black tea. The world balances itself, doesn't it? The joint Wilson-Carter projects stolen from me imploded one after another, adding economic crimes to their charges. I took over the battered Wilson Group, merging it with Longqing Corp. Later, I met with Jiang Shiriyue, James' half-sister from his father's business marriage. I hated your mother for years, blaming her for breaking my family. She said, stirring coffee. Then I realized, if my father hadn't cheated, James wouldn't exist. Dying by her son's hand, poetic justice. We'd struck a deal a year earlier. I'd help her oust James from Jiang Enterprises in exchange for resources. Many trending exposes bore her fingerprints. But how did you guess his mother's suicide was his doing? She asked. I smiled without answering. Because in my past life, he'd done the same to me. Before sentencing, I visited my old acquaintances. First, my brother. Don't look at me like that, I said to Lucas Glare. I know what you're wondering. Being cast out like stray dogs? I've lived through that already. Did you think I spent these years abroad partying? During the hardest days, I survived on micronaps between classes, corporate battles, and reconstructing evidence trails from fragmentary memories of another lifetime. Given how ruthlessly efficient their methods were, I knew this wasn't their first time. Evil doesn't suddenly manifest in my presence. There must be far greater darkness lurking where I couldn't see. My suspicions proved right. Lucas. Dad always said I wasn't his daughter. He raised you to be a tyrannical outlaw who'll break any law to achieve your goals. Thankfully, I'm nothing like him. The second person I visited was Lily. Disheveled and hollow-eyed. Her hatred burned through the glass partition. The innocent facade finally shattered as she screamed hysterically, "If you had evidence all along. Why wait? Was playing victim fun? Of course." I stood up, smiling. How else would you keep pretending for so long? I could have exposed everything earlier. But where's the satisfaction in that? Letting you taste victory before watching your world crumble at dawn, that's poetic justice. I learned this from my previous life. Now it's your turn. My final visit was James. Honestly, I hadn't planned to see him. Lily had always been my nemesis. Lucas my blood-bound complication. But James? After my love for him evaporated, we became strangers. Yet the police said he requested this meeting. We sat facing each other through thick glass. His prolonged silence made me rise impatiently. "What do you want?" "This wasn't how it should be," he finally rasped. "The Wilson legacy should be mine. We were supposed to get engaged." I froze mid-step, whirling around. His dark eyes glinted strangely. For one heartbeat, the faint scar on his forehead made me mistake him for the James from my past life. Engaged? I laughed bitterly, palms slamming the glass. Why stop there? After using me to seize the Wilson empire, you and Lucas murdered me. What's next in this fairy tale? I regretted it. He choked out. 4 years. But you never knew. Of course I didn't. I was dead. My knuckles whitened against the partition. Even if I'd known. Who cares about your remorse? This time, I'm the victor. You'll rot in hell where you belong. James. This is your reckoning. Winter came early that year. When I emerged, twilight had deepened into night. Sophia's text blinked on my phone at Hot Pot Place. "Hurry up and come pay the bill." I chuckled, typing on my way. As I walked, the wind carried fragments of a phone conversation with Sophia about her upcoming research fellowship abroad. Safe travels, I'd said earlier. Now snow began falling, each flake dissolving like the ghosts of our burned bridges. The city lights blurred into one shimmering streak, not tears, but the afterglow of wildfires finally contained. Outside the car window, a crescent moon hung high in the sky, illuminating a corner of the ink-black night. Once this night passes and the moon sets, my sun will rise again.